I would say like it was a seamless and the stress-free experience. All my inquiries were diligently addressed. I'm just very happy. I feel like majority of the load on my head now it's gone. Without a doubt, I made the right choice in selecting Sedaghat law firm. That is for sure. Yeah, I am a researcher. I developed the product, a pharmaceutical product. So basically, when a person goes to the doctor and doctor prescribes the medication, so that medication someone needs to manufacture. So I am the person who develops those formulations and make sure that it remains stable before it goes into the market. So I had like I believe 8 or 9 patents that has already been granted and multiple other pending. And those which are granted, those are already been assigned to the pharmaceutical company. And it is in the market as of now in the US market. So that's my preliminary background. When I was trying to look for a new job, it was always an hassle. So as soon as you tick mark that a person needs, I need a H1B, it's a straightforward no. So in one company, it happened that I applied and I tick marked the I need the visa sponsorship in future. So I just tick marked that yeah, I would be needing it. And as soon as it was still buffering, that application was sending out, and within next 20 seconds, I receive an email. We find a better candidate than you. So it's not they reviewed it. It's something that triggered it. So at that point of time, I realized that, okay, probably H1 is going to be a very long path since as of now, they say like the wait time is over 100 years. So based on my profile and everything, I was evaluating whether I can fit into some other visa category or do I need to keep in mind some other option. So that was pretty much background like why I wanted to get into the EB1. And I found that either I can go for O1 or the EB1. So EB1, I found that I can do it by myself. And for the O1, it was again like H1. I need to go to employer. I need to ask them that please do it, please do it. And, again, based on the job market and everything, it was quite tough. So that's why I decided to go in full-fledged with the EB1. So basically, if I'm not wrong, I reached out to almost 4 or 5 attorneys to identify whether I have or not the EB1 case. So yeah, I think that was 4 or 5 attorneys. Yeah. So basically, I was going through so again, as I mentioned, I reached out to 4 or 5 attorneys. 2 of them said that I don't have the case at all. So it was a straight no. Then I believe remaining 2 or 3, they said they are a little bit hesitant, but they want, and one of them particularly, I remember that he told me that, the law firm told me that I need to have at least 400 to 500 citations before they can take my case, though I had a good case, but they were hesitant and they were looking for the 400 500 citations. So in the same time, I was reaching out to multiple law firm and one of the law firm was a Sedaghat law firm. So I also inquired there and I received the response stating that it was a completely different response out of those 5 response, and the 6th response was a complete different. So let me tell you how. So those 2 people were not ready to take, and remaining 3 were a little bit hesitant. One said once we reach 400, 500 citations, then we would be happy to take, and remaining 2 were like a little bit more hesitant. However, when I reached out here at Sedaghat Law Firm, they straight away told me that I need to meet. So there are overall 10 criteria. I only need to meet 3 criteria. However, I am already meeting 6 criteria, and to get my case, probability of success of my case is almost 80%, which was like, I was like, wow, lawyer to lawyer, it differs so much, because those few of them who said no to me, those were again bigger names. So I looked deep into it and I found that there was a lawyer at your law firm. I was reading about him and I found that a few reviews where they clearly mentioned that this is not like other law firms where they just try to put you in 3 criteria and they send your case and then they receive the RFE and they send the response and the cycle goes on. So that one of the comment was specifically mentioning that my case was denied by more than 20 law firms, and he put me in the 6th or 7 criteria. That's what I read at that point of time. And he said my case was approved without RFE. And I read other comments as well, and I found the similar one. So that was the point that, okay, if the lawyer is confident, then I don't need to worry about it. And with that thought, I was like, okay, I do want to move forward with hence the Sedaghat law firm. So I would say personalized service and the proactive communication, because I do remember my very first communication. As soon as I sent out an email, I received the response. I received not just the response, I received the well articulated response within 24 hours. So that was something very interesting. I don't recollect who sent it back to me, but whatever the questionnaire was on your website, I responded to that, and based on that, it was a very well articulated response. So whatever I read it in the comment section, so that was reflective of here, and that's what made me move forward here. So basically I would say personalized service and the proactive communication. If I say it like in 1 or 2 words, I would say like it was a seamless and the stress-free experience, because I did have my EB2 file somewhere else, EB2 NIW file somewhere else, and I know it was quite a hassle in order to get the response, in order to get any simple response. So that was tough, but here it was seamless. Like I do not recollect I waited like very long. Probably within next day or the second day, I used to get the response. So that was very quick. All my inquiries were diligently addressed. That was very good to work with. And also whatever the revisions and all those things that I asked, that was also taken care quickly. So the move around time was also very quick. Frankly speaking, it was an exhilarating moment for me. So it was an immense joy and a relief, most of all, because now I know that I won't be sticking in that 100-year-long queue. So probably, of course, right now it is a little bit behind. Like if I'm not wrong, it's April 2022 or whatever. It's in 2000. It's in first or second quarter of 2022. So I'm for sure that I'm not gonna wait for 100 years. So it was an immense joy as well as relief. And again, another part, I have maxed out on my F1. So right now I'm on day 1 CPT. It makes a life a little bit difficult. My wife also does not have H1 and nor the I-140 approved. So, that makes a life a little bit difficult. But with this approval, I'm sure that probably in a year or two, or maybe soon, I don't know, I-485 would be adjudicated soon. So yeah, frankly speaking, I'm just very happy. Like I feel like, okay, majority of the load on my head, now it's gone. And I believe now I should not be in the situation where I'll need to set back myself because of the H1B, because I know that majority of the companies, they are not ready to sponsor H1. So I think, I just received this good news. So probably down the line, I would be able to say more, but as of now, I am very happy. Without a doubt, I made the right choice in selecting Sedaghat Law Firm. That is for sure. That is 100% sure. I am the expertise, dedication, and the efficiency demonstrated confirm that I was in the best possible hands. I would like to say that I'll just like to talk about myself. So when I had my case, I wasn't sure whether it's a ready or no. A few lawyers told me no. A few lawyers said that you need to work a little bit more. However, at the Sedaghat law firm, the attorney told me that you are good to go case. You are meeting 6 criteria out of 10. You only need 3. However, we will put you in 6. Also with the 80% success chances, somewhere down the line, I think that someone in my shoes in future, they of course they need to do their due diligence and meet all those criteria and all those things, but they also need to trust their lawyer. If your lawyer is sure that they can get you approval, then that's it. That's a done case. Just have a faith in lawyer and just, don't feel sad or something just because 1 or 2 or 3 lawyers says no. But I would definitely say try Sedaghat Law Firm. Frankly speaking, it was a very great pleasure working with you, since I did not expect, because 5 law firms says no and then 1 says yes, that creates a doubt in you. But I still remember the very first response from your law firm. It says that 80% approval and you are meeting 6 criteria out of 10. Of course, we will dig deeper once the case is ongoing and all those things. So the case was sent out on November 14th. They received on November 15th, and it was approved on 23rd of November. Of course, it was very hard work however, I see here the case was approved within 6 days. 6 or 7 days. I think when the lawyer was telling me no versus this lawyer telling me that, okay, we can go forward with it, and I trusted it. So I'm sure that my decision wasn't wrong. I would say just to anyone who is preparing for the EB1, just do their due diligence and let the once the matter is in the lawyer's hand and the lawyer is confident in your case, just let them lead. And I'm sure if you are with the Sedaghat law firm, you are definitely going to have a positive result. If they say yes, it means a yes. And thank you so much for taking my case. And it was a dream it was my dream, and now I see it happening as a reality.